Recording in progress.
I call to order the May 18th, 2026 meeting of the Yarmouth Board of Health. So, let's see if we have a quorum. Larry, you here?
Yes.
Hiller's here. Mary?
Here.
Eric?
Present.
Okay, let's move on. Public comment time. So, if anyone would like to come up to the mic or from home or wherever they are, this is your opportunity to talk to the Board of Health.
I don't see anybody on Zoom.
No hands. Well, that would place us on number 4, SRS Building Products Variance Request. So let's translate that. Looks like we have some people here. Maybe just introduce yourselves for the record.
Sure. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. My name is Eliza Cox. I'm an attorney at Lattanzi, Spalding, and Landreth in Orleans, and here on behalf of the property owner, which is Ansel and Gretel LLC. Joining me behind me, Bruce McGregor, who's a representative of the property owner, a principal of the property owner, and John Marin, who's the district manager from SRS Building Products, is also here today.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, I think we have a professor here tonight to help us out, introduce the whole thing to us, okay? Carl, you're on.
Hello, everybody. My name's Carl Lawson. I'm Hazardous Materials Inspector with the Health Department. So I've been working with SRS Building Products the last couple of months through both their company representatives and legal counsel. So a little bit about what I've learned. SRS Building Products is a distributor of roofing products for professional contractors only. They're not a customer Home Depot type of store. The closest SRS Building Product store to Yarmouth isn't Plymouth, although that store is branded Heritage Wholesalers. But just to give you some familiarity with where they are around, even though we might not be familiar with them locally. SRS Building Products proposes opening a new store at 60 Ansel Hallett Road in West Yarmouth, which was the location of FedEx from 1991 to early 2025. It's now vacant. This location is within the town's Aquifer Protection District for the public drinking water supply. SRS proposes toxic and hazardous materials for storage and resale, including liquid bonding adhesive, liquid primer, liquid cleaner degreaser, and some tube cartridges of sealants, but those are of a paste quality and not of a large concern in terms of drinking water threat. Toxic and hazardous materials proposed for storage and use, this is what they'll be using, include consumable motor fluids, not fluids for changes. There'll be no repair occurring, just windshield wash, maybe a little motor oil, and some diesel exhaust fluid, which is a fluid added to trucks to make the emissions cleaner. All service of delivery trucks will be conducted off-site vehicle service facilities. They will have forklifts on site, propane powered, but they do have engines and apparatus that will be serviced on site, not very frequently, by a vehicle service provider. It's important to know the service will occur inside the building, where the floors are all sloped to trench drains that are connected to a holding tank that's within the footprint of the building. I suggested SRS request an upper limit of toxic and hazardous materials adequately high to allow for overlapping deliveries. They made the point that they will not be storing near the maximum, but I said sometimes deliveries overlap, so provide for that. So their request is they're requesting a recommendation from the Board of Health to go to the Board of Appeals to be allowed to store up to 400 gallons of toxic and hazardous materials at this location. So the purpose of this meeting is for the Board of Health to learn the details of the proposal and vote whether or not to recommend it to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and also to decide whether to include or revise the recommended Health Department license conditions. Those are on page 7 of your memo. There's only 3. I did visit the SRS Building Product store located in Plymouth. I found the toxic and hazardous materials present were of the type they described to me. I was also told the Plymouth store is a larger facility, more geared towards industrial applications than what they'll have on the Cape. So the storage on the Cape will be less. But it's important to know also that most of the stored products for sale were hard goods, and the chemicals are just a small part of their business. Now, that's everything I have.
Okay. So, Carl, if you like, you can sit down. I don't know how long this is going to go on for. You're welcome to stand there. It's up to you. So,
Thank you.
welcome again.
Sure, thank you very much. Make a few comments. Carl kind of gave a really nice introduction, and I want to acknowledge and thank Carl for all of his assistance getting to this point. We've had many back and forth with Carl as we provided additional information so that he could prepare his memo. As Carl mentioned, we are here seeking your recommendation in connection with a zoning board of appeals special permit application that we will be filing for this proposal. The underlying use that SRS proposes is allowed by right in this zoning district. It's just the additional hazardous materials that necessitate the special permit from the zoning board of appeals. The property that is the subject of this application, you should have a copy of the site plan. It's a little over 2.5 acres. It's the former FedEx distribution facility off of Ansel Hallett Road in Yarmouth. And SRS Building Products is proposing to lease the space for its use. As Carl mentioned, SRS is a wholesale distributor of roofing materials and other exterior building products. It exclusively serves contractors that come onto the site, so a retail customer wouldn't be there to purchase any of the products that it sells. Most of the sales that SRS has is by delivery rather than pickup. So nationally, about 85% of the sales are delivered by SRS to the ultimate location. Only about 15% have the contractors actually coming to the site to pick up the product. Its fleet at the location, what is proposed is 2 flatbed delivery trucks, 2 forklifts with Moffetts. Only the forklifts, which are powered by propane, which is non-hazardous, are proposed to be refueled on site with the propane. All of the other vehicles will be refueled off-site. Similarly, the trucks will be maintained and repaired off-site. That won't be happening on-site. Only the forklifts and the Moffetts will be serviced on-site, and that's by a professional third party. No vehicle washing will happen under proposed conditions. In terms of the hazardous materials, unlike the pre-existing conditions when FedEx was at the location, no hazardous wastes are proposed to be generated on-site. Instead, SRS is proposing essentially bulk storage to sell to contractors of certain products that do have hazardous components. The products, as Carl mentioned, are primers, bonding adhesives, and sealants. These are all very common in roofing materials. The total anticipated quantity of hazardous materials on site at any given time is about 266 gallons. And that's for the wholesale sales. In addition to the wholesale sales, SRS is proposing about 2 to 3 gallons each of gasoline for a snow blower on site, 2 to 3 gallons of windshield fluid and antifreeze for their vehicles, company vehicles, and 2 to 3 gallons of surface cleaner and glass cleaner for cleaning purposes. As Carl mentioned, SRS is also proposing to store diesel exhaust fluids on site. These are stored in a 55-gallon drum. Only one is really used at a time, but as that drum gets lower, another drum would be ordered. Then they'd finish the one, take that off site, and then as they work down that existing one on site, they'd order another one. So to be conservative, we've assumed 2 drums, but really only 1 drum at a time, and then that would be reduced before the second drum comes on site. So the total anticipated quantities of both what would be on site for SRS's use, as well as the wholesale hazardous materials, would be about 330 gallons. Working with Carl, and just to be conservative, we're asking for 400 gallons. So when there is that fluctuation with the drums, that's accounted for. We've provided you with a floor plan. All of the hazardous materials will be stored in the room that's labeled hazmat storage room on that floor plan. All of the hazardous materials will be placed on one of 5 132-gallon capacity spill control pallets, and we've provided you a detail in the application materials what that pallet will look like. These pallets will provide for more than 150% containment, so it exceeds your regulation requirements in terms of the amount of containment. We could go on, but I think I'll pause there. We are, of course, asking for a positive recommendation to the zoning board for this request. We think this use is going to be significantly more protective than the prior FedEx use, which had a lot more operations, including generating hazardous waste on site, which won't be the case with this proposal. As I mentioned, we're providing more than the 150% containment that your regulations require. No vehicle washing, no refueling of trucks or moffats, and no on-site maintenance or repair of the delivery trucks. John's here if you have any technical questions. Bruce is here as well on behalf of the property owner, and we'd be happy to try to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. That was concise. That was great.
I have a couple of questions. The spill control pallets, I understand that the boxed materials as well as the ones that are in the shrink wrap are going to be placed on top of them. And if there's a box leaking, you remove the whole box. But if something has spilled into the bottom of that pallet, you'll have a hazmat company come and take it away. But how do they do that without spilling?
Do you have experience with that, John?
I've actually never had that experience. Usually typically if something is leaking, it is leaked because we have damaged it. So usually we'd only damage one at a whack. But typically what they would do is they would remove that, pick up the pallet, remove the pallet that is now contaminated, remove that, replace it with a new pallet, and remove the contaminated box or boxes at the same time.
Yeah, and they're proposing to work with Clean Harbors, which is a very reputable and well-known company for this type of
See
work.
the truck all the time.
Yeah.
Second question, right now it just flew away. Okay, I'll think about it. I do have a second question though. Oh, the tanks, the tanks that are there in case there's a spill of some sort, like from the work on the forklifts. The material that we have shows that they were inspected by FedEx in 2022. But
They were actually inspected more recently than that. I hadn't moved the report to the public record section, but they were inspected more recently than that. It is important to know FedEx, I didn't put this in my memorandum, but FedEx had a much more intensive use of the tanks because they were washing.
right.
And because of that, they had to have the annual inspection to ensure that the whole line of components from the water hitting the floor to the tank were all in good operating condition.
So how often does it have to be inspected if there's no washing being done?
There's no protocol. The testing requirement was always added by the Board of Health, or recommended to the Board of Appeals. Because businesses doing washing, we're doing an operation that's not allowed in the Aquifer Protection District, first of all. And that's a more intensive use of a floor drain to holding tank system. So if someone just has a holding tank for something that might happen, but they're not washing, there's no standard for testing.
How much of a spill would have to occur before the alarm would go off and it would have to be removed?
750 gallons. It's a 1,000-gallon holding tank.
Okay.
So it's a tank with no outlet, unlike a septic system. So it's a tank with no outlet. It's 1,000 gallons in capacity, and the alarm is set at a 75% level.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are the containers of hazardous material for sale, would they be all new containers, or are they partial?
They're all brand new. They come direct from the manufacturer.
So they're sold
They're
directly?
not open. They're just sold as is.
Sure.
We're not-
No partial containers?
No, sir.
There's a security fence. What kind of building security is there?
There will be cameras inside and out, so outside the perimeter of the building as well as inside the building. And then it's hooked to, I guess it goes to me. If there's a burglary or anything of that nature in the fire department.
And the propane, it has to be stored outside, so how do you keep that secure?
That's in a cage that is, we have to have a fire department sign off. We are only supposed to have the amount that we're allotted, so I think we get a permit for, call it 12 or 16, and there's a cage that has 12 or 16, and that includes whatever we have on the machine as well, so. And those are refilled as needed by, you know, natural gas or whoever the third-party provider is down here.
Yeah, I know the building, it's like a fortress. So I have a property near there, and it's built like a fortress, so I don't think there'd be a problem with anybody breaking in.
Been any changes to the building, Carl, since FedEx left? What changes?
No, I haven't seen, I've been to the site in recent weeks, and nothing's changed from the outside that I can see.
Inside, anything changed since FedEx left?
A new roof.
New roof.
Was it a good company?
Where the supplies come from,
The supplies
Get the
are-
sale.
that's what we want to know.
I don't have my architect's scale on me, but the hazardous material storage area here, I'm just looking for some clarification. There's a small rectangle that says hazmat, and then there's a larger, it's within a larger rectangle, looks like a square, and it says hazmat storage room.
Yeah,
Yeah, they will be
would you like me to take that, Eliza?
Yeah,
Would-
Go ahead.
What was explained to me, and perhaps Andrew, you can jump in if you have any issue with it. What was explained to me by another legal associate with, working with Eliza, is that that room is for, that smaller rectangle is for personal protective equipment and spill
Okay.
absorption materials.
Okay,
The-
I was
the
gonna say, that
larger
looks
room-
pretty small
It is,
to house
yeah.
that material.
So the larger
Okay.
room is where they'll place those 5 spill control pallets.
Great, thank you.
Usually we get a copy of the policy, the hazardous waste. policy, and it's not included yet, right?
I'm sorry, which policy?
Policy for containment of spills.
We have.
Okay. Do you mean their spill
Is that
plan?
it? That's the one
The spill
page?
response plan, is that what, yes,
Okay.
that should have been submitted.
Okay. I didn't see it, but it's probably.
I can submit one if you'd like to, just a page.
It says emergency spill response plan at the top, Mary. I know you have a lot of handouts there. It's in bold, black font underlined. It's just a one-page document. It's a cut-to-the-chase, immediate response type of plan.
Is that what you're looking for? Anything about it? No, but that's okay.
Thank you.
So when someone's working and there's a spill, right? 2 o'clock in the afternoon, how are they gonna know what to do?
I'm going to talk about training and.
Yeah, so we extensively train our employees as to what to do. Usually, typically, number one is call hazmat company the provider that we would use, and sit and wait for them to show up and ask what to do. There's spill kits that we have to contain the product, and then we wait for them to come up and clean it up for us.
People still need to know what to do. In other words, you're probably very familiar with it, but if you just hire
Yeah, so
someone,
we
they
have
may
a
not.
plan. This plan would be in the building, right in the hazmat room as well as on, we actually, all of our branches have a safety board that will tell us exactly what to do, who to call.
Great.
I think they try to keep it purposefully simple so that, this is really a checklist of what to
Right.
do in the event there is a spill and not have it be a whole book of, taking time to read through it.
But it does say that the employees have some responsibilities, not just to call the spill.
Yeah, they have judgment calls to make on what
Right.
to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, this is for the public to listen about, that's the main concern. Our main concern is the drinking water.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Carl, you have any concerns that we should be aware of? Obviously, you spent a lot of time on this.
It's a pretty straightforward proposal in that they're not using the materials on site. So there's no use, there's no industrial process, and then therefore there's no hazardous waste disposal. That's good. As you mentioned, I think the training on the spill response plan is important, and that's why I listed that as a recommended condition, that it must be conspicuously posted at all times and employees familiar with the plan. So one item I look for during my inspections is that plan is, laminated or in a sheet protector on the wall, and that, if I ask an employee, quiz them, they know. They say, oh, there's the plan there, and I know where the protective equipment is, I know where the absorbents are. So those are questions I'll ask when I do an inspection.
I would just add, Mr. Chairman, we have no problem with the recommended conditions that are spelled out in Carl's memorandum to you.
Everything goes well for you, when are you going to be opening your shop?
Well, we need to go to the zoning board after you, so the plan is to file that this week and then hopefully be on the June 25th zoning board of appeals agenda. And then after that, I would defer to you guys on the timing. But
Hopefully ASAP, but my guess is it's probably going to be sometime late fall.
Anyone want to move on this?
I move that we recommend to the zoning board, the Board of Health regulatory requirements, as stated in Carl's memo, along with the Health Department Health Department recommended conditions, which are 3. The maximum on-site storage of toxic or hazardous materials is limited to 400 gallons total. A detailed material spill containment plan must be conspicuously posted at all times, and all employees must be familiar with the plan, and no vehicle washing is allowed.
Thank you, that was well done.
I second it.
Okay. So, we have a motion here. Any further discussion about it? No? Want to vote on it? All in favor? Just
Aye.
raise your hand out there. Fine, good, all right.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, good luck with
Thank you.
this. Welcome to Yarmouth, hopefully.
Mr. Chair, you're welcome. You're welcome. Mr. Chair, we are moving to the plastic waiver portion of this. Do you mind if I address the people in the audience real quick first?
Not.
So, welcome. I thank everybody for coming. As you see, we do have some samples up here of what people have brought in, some other great ideas, and we do have a table outside that has products that are approved also for you guys to look at if you have questions on anything like that. So, just to let you know that. So, and we have a couple other samples from the loft, and when he comes up, he'll present those. All right.
Okay, it's that time. First up is Andrea's West Yarmouth Fish and Lobster. So, if someone's there from the community. Okay, great.
Hi, I'm Andrea Schuster, owner of Andrea's West Yarmouth Fish and Lobster.
Welcome. So, why don't you tell us why you're here?
I'm here to request a waiver for the plastics reduction. I am looking just to have it extended to the end of my season, which would be in October. so that I could use up the rest of my stock that I have on hand.
Which products are you asking for?
Oh, the black plastic containers with the clear tops, and then also the deli bags that we use to put the fish and stuff in, and also the shellfish. Primarily because when we sell like steamers and stuff, there's leakage, and so a lot of customers will complain if we put them in paper or they explode and just goes everywhere. So we have been trying to figure out an alternative for that. Right now, we're not really able to find one, but we are working on it.
The good thing, so last meeting, I gave you my science experiment. It was one of these products up here. It had liquid in it and it was a souffle cup, one of these products, and it kept for over a week and a half. I think the cleaning company tossed it out thinking it was trash. I was going to see how long it would go for. But these products right here are amazing for keeping liquid in. We started off with hot boiling water and went from there. So just for future reference, that's...
Yeah, we have experimented with ones a little bit larger than this, actually, and they work okay, but people come in and buy like quantity of shellfish, like, like over 5 pounds, it takes a pretty big container to contain that. We also sell lobster rolls that we used to put in the black and clear containers, and we've switched those over to these here that I have. So that's actually reduced the amount of the black and clear containers that we use by a lot, probably like 50 a day. So we are trying to implement more ideas to stay on track with the plastic ban. But yeah, we just opened a couple weeks ago, so it's been a little bit of a process.
And if you see yourself running out of your stock that you have right now, you would switch over to sustainable?
Yes, I already have bought some just in case, yeah. So I've already, and I've been telling the kids that work there, that we need to start implementing this and
I'm sorry, I haven't been able to hear what you just said to him.
I said that
Maybe, excuse me, just bring the mic closer to
Oh,
yourself
yeah,
then.
Sorry, I'm soft-spoken, I'm sorry. I already have bought, like I said, these and other items to, when the stock runs out, that would be acceptable alternatives, and working with the kids that work there to show them the difference, like, we need to start using these things, and it's been going pretty well.
Do you use cutlery there? Do you give out cutlery, like spoons and forks? No? Okay, that's good.
Or straws or anything like that. We don't.
Okay,
use
so it's
straws.
more just the containers for the...
Containers, yes. We sell things in our region that it's a tough sale when they can't see what they're buying, when customers can't see what they're buying. So we are trying to find alternatives that way. And then, because then people will want to open it up and look inside. So there's, that's contamination. So I am actively looking for an alternative.
We do have some samples of stuff like that out there. And we do have a list of purveyors that are working with the town greatly to provide.
Yes, I
stuff.
actually have that list. That's
Oh.
how I was able to find some
Oh, good.
alternatives already.
So
yes.
it actually works. Good job, Sarah, for sending that out. Thank you.
So you're telling how much you use a month, and you have enough for a season on hand. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Or part of a season, and you'll buy what you need along the way and try to replace
Correct.
the plastics. So you're asking for a waiver until,
I would say October is usually when I close. It's hard to say when I would exactly run out, so I was just playing it safe by saying the end of the season.
okay.
Anything we should be thinking about when we're looking at number 4, plastic, and where there's no waiver, on the application? What should we be thinking about?
We're going to run into that with Stop and Shop also.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we look at food safety. And that was one of the things that we considered when we looked at plastics that were being used and the reasons they were being used. And Andrea's is, that you don't go in and eat there. You don't
Right.
buy a takeout meal. Well, you have a nice lobster dinner, I hear. But I think it's, for now anyway, it's a food safety issue. And so it doesn't automatically get a waiver, but I think when it comes to us, we say yes.
Okay, great. Anyone else on the board? Questions, comments? Make a motion here, we can move along. This would be asking until October, right?
I move that we accept Andrea's of West Yarmouth Fish and Lobster's request for a waiver until October, when she closes, and she can come back and talk to us about what's happened during the summer and if she's found some alternatives for what she's asked for in this waiver.
Thank you.
Second it.
Great. Any discussion on it? Anything else? Okay, all in favor? Raise your hand, say aye. Okay, so that passes. So you need to speak with us in October. How do you want to handle that?
So what we have a list going, and once we get close, and if you do run out of product and you start using come in compliance prior to, just get in touch with Phil, let him know what you're doing and what you've come in compliance with, and then we can go from there. We'll let you know if you'll need to come in front of the board, if the board will let me make the decision, or if Phil will make the decision. So if the board's good with that.
And it might also help another retailer if you found something that we don't know about
Definitely.
beforehand.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so next up is Fox Den Coffee. If someone here representing them, oh, great. Hi. No, excuse me, no one's gonna be able to hear you if you're not sitting in front of the mic, that's all, okay? You remember there are people at home or wherever they are listening.
Yes. So, it's for the gelato shop.
So
and
just
our-
introduce yourselves, your names for the record. Thank you.
Patricia Thomas,
Peter Thomas.
Great, welcome.
and we're from Cafe Gelato Bertini / Foxton.
So we've pretty much switched out everything. The only thing we're asking for a waiver on is our cups. Those are plastic and we did branded cups, and we still have a few boxes. So we already found alternative cups. We just are asking for a waiver to, if we could finish out those cups that we ordered.
You have found alternatives?
Yes, we're gonna use
Biodegradable cups that we found, eco-friendly. Yeah, and and also our gelato spoons are plastic. So we're still trying to find alternatives for those.
So I know you said that wood just doesn't cut it for gelato,
No.
and so did another ice cream person who's
Yes.
here probably tonight. So what alternatives are there then, do you think?
So we're trying to find compostable or biodegradable.
yeah, I've seen biodegradable ones, so I'm trying to get samples. So we
To
can
try?
see- Yeah.
Well-
Like bamboo or something?
No, it's just,
You
it
haven't-
just says,
It's not
Plastic.
bamboo. It still looks like plastic, but it's degradable. Because we've tried bamboo, we've tried paper, and we've tried the wooden ones, and it gives the gelato, it changes the taste of the gelato. So,
On your request, you did talk about the affogato cups, though. So
oh, I forgot about those.
oh yeah. Those are also, yeah, in the list.
For the affogato cups, we're just gonna use the coffee cups.
Okay.
We're just gonna use the paper coffee cups that we already have.
Good, because
Yeah.
those are, there's no waiver for those,
Yeah.
for the material that you put down there. Okay. So right now, it's just the spoons that you're asking for a waiver?
Spoons and the coffee, and the cups that we
That
have
you're-
branded.
Cold
Yeah,
cups.
cold cups.
16-ounce cups.
16 ounce. Yeah.
So are the new ones going to be branded?
No,
Not at this time, yeah.
That's an added cost.
Yeah.
For sure. What about the straws? You said we've used paper straws
We
and
have
those
paper
also
straws.
fall apart.
They fall apart, and we found some other alternatives. We have some paper straws that we're using at the moment, but we're gonna look at these ones. What are those? The
So
fish shell
actually,
ones?
when we've been promoting this whole time, if you find anything that's different and good, and this is a compostable straw, it's made with cornstarch. The Loft restaurant at the Cove, this is what they use, and he just shared this with me. It's their cutlery ware. It's made from crushed up seashells. It can't get any more Cape Coddy than that. It just, I mean, if Kevin wants to know the names on this. Yeah, Kevin, if you want, just come up to the. Yeah, thank you.
Kevin Richards and Kathy Giano from the Loft. They think it's called Starfish Company.
Yeah.
They also make straws and sip sticks that look just like a plastic straw. You would never know the difference. They're a little pricey, they're a quarter of a cent, more. So you definitely have to have time to build it into your price structure.
And I just want to clarify, you're not affiliated with them, right?
With these guys? No.
No, with this.
Oh, those guys?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, because we're not promoting anybody, but
Thanks to you guys, we found that at a food, you put that list of places to call. We went to 2 food shows and we found those at a food show.
crushed up
Seashells.
it can't get any more Cape Coddy than
As long
that's.
as it doesn't taste the gelato, right?
Yeah.
They're not salty. You want to lick one?
Salt, yeah.
We see them?
Yeah.
Can I open it? Yeah.
I think that's great that
Yeah.
you've made those changes that you have. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, for your effort. Thank you.
All right.
How long is the waiver? Are you requesting a waiver for?
I'd put in for this, we have a lot of cups because we were planning to just have our cups that we don't have to reorder again. So this season and next, I don't know if that's,
if it's not possible, we'll just take it to the end of this
yeah.
season.
And what's your season, this season ends when?
October, sorry.
October, okay.
Anything else, anyone? If not, let's have a motion and we can.
Yes, so I recommend that we grant a waiver to Fox Den Coffee for the 16-ounce cups and the spoons until October.
Thank you.
Second?
Okay. All right, all in favor, just raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
That's great. Have a good season.
Thank you.
Okay. We're looking for the Little Caboose Corporation. Okay. Have a seat. Just introduce yourselves. Thank you.
How's it going? Costadino Aganis, president of Little Caboose.
How you doing? Matt Dooling, operational manager of Little Caboose.
So basically, we were asking for a waiver for the end of the season. We would like to understand that our business is full up, walk-up window and fully takeout, like people do enjoy on our property too, but a lot of the business that we do is through takeout and through our to-go freezer as well. So I came with this. We are working with a paper company. This is a compostable straw. It's a thick straw so people can drink ice cream out of it. So we're trying to work through on getting some more boxes of this. So we are willing to switch with this, but there is certain things that I think ice cream is very visual. So it's hard to be selling a banana split out of something like this versus something that we have here that'll have all the colors of strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate ice cream pineapple, strawberries, whipped cream, nuts, cherry. People want to see this. If it's out of something like this, it will not work out for us for certain things. And then we also have a 6-pack of ice cream sandwich containers. You cannot find those compostable. They're a sleeve that we have 6 ice cream sandwiches in that we have in our to-go freezer up front. How do we go from there with those stuff like that?
So the lids and containers that you're talking about are what you just showed us?
Yeah, so these are the containers. We use that for a banana split. And then this container here, we use for our brownie sundae and our donut sundae in the fall through Hole-in-One Donuts. This we could try to work through some things, but I still want it to be clear, so.
Our biggest need is for 12-ounce and 8-ounce lids.
Yeah.
We have about 10 to 15,000 of those still on hand. We'll probably go through about 10,000, I'd say, till the end of October. But we go through about 50% of our sundaes and 2 scoops of ice cream, 1 scoop of ice cream, 3 scoops of ice cream is takeout to go with a lid. And we do not have a solution for that at this moment. We're working with straws, we're working with spoons, we're trying to do our best we can with those, but the biggest thing we need is a waiver to get us through to the end of October so we can figure out a solution for our sundae lids. That's our biggest need right now.
So the one I have in my hand, I just took off my display table. It's one of our samples that is compostable, and right on top of it says compostable. So it looks exactly like the one you have right there.
Okay, I'll see that after.
I would say through our paper company, Arrow Paper, we have options around that for the brownie sundaes and the banana splits. So I think we will be able to find a solution for those.
Perfect.
But the lids and the 6-pack ice cream sandwiches, we don't have an option for. We've been looking for those ever since we found out about this. And as of right now, we don't have a solution for those 3 things.
And all of our takeout bags and our to-go bags and our quarts and pints are all paper and paper lids on top of those. But it's more for the clear sundae when people get whipped cream, nuts, and a cherry. They can't drive without a lid, I'm sorry, and especially down 28. It's going to be hard. It's going to whipped cream all over the front seat. It's no good.
I'll tell you, Route 28 and that sewer has taken a lot of hits.
I must point out, we were assigned the responsibility of enforcing this regulation, okay? And you will end up coming to see us again, and my concern is just the way the application was completed or not really completed. Under plastic product details, there aren't really any that you've put down, okay, on the application. There's an area here for please list any alternatives you have tried and why they are not feasible. There's nothing written down under that.
Because we were still working with that paper company at that time.
It's
Just
an
trying to work
it's
through
an
different
application. You have
I
our
understand.
job, just think about it here, we're trying to enforce something, or that's our responsibility.
I understand.
Or the steps, another box, please list other steps. So that's all I'm pointing out, because we'll speak with you again, or certainly the health department will, to catch up where things are at. So please keep that in mind, okay? Thank you.
It's particularly important that you tell us what the plastic type is that you're asking, that you're using.
Yeah.
And that you're asking a waiver for. Because as you know, on the application for request, it lists the types of plastic, and particularly the ones that we're most concerned about. We'd like to get rid of all of them, but some of them are definitely verboten.
Absolutely, and we are with what you guys are saying. But like I said, we have purchased these products before we knew about this, and as a lot of businesses have in Yarmouth. And that's the reason we're requesting the waivers, because we currently have a decent amount of stock on hand that we have to use.
Yeah, no, a lot of businesses are in the same situation, which we realize for sure. But I think Mary's point is an important one. Just what plastic type are we granting or not granting a waiver tonight? That's all. I think it's important. The regulation is what type of plastic are we talking about?
See.
For example, your banana split container, what does it say on the bottom? What's the,
Just says recyclable.
It does say
Carrot.
recyclable?
Yeah, it says that little,
Then you can use it.
that means it's good.
Yeah,
well, what
it's-
else does it say in the triangle?
Yeah,
Does
is
it
it-
have a number, or?
It has, number 1 around the recycling logo with PET. And it has another recyclable logo.
Can I see it?
Yeah. Same with this one as well.
The problem with some of the recyclable things are they're recyclable, but they can take 20, 30 years. So recyclable in itself should not be acceptable.
Right.
Yeah, that's that side. All right, here you go. That's not, it can be recycled, it's not compostable, so that's,
That I did.
yeah, so no.
Yeah.
Like this one right here, clearly on the top of it says compostable,
Yeah.
so.
So Mary, people should be looking when they're trying samples from companies. What should they be looking on the bottom? What would be helpful?
Well, just look at the list that we have on the second page or the back page of the waiver request that lists the ones that there are waivers for. Reminds people that polystyrene is not acceptable at all in Yarmouth, has been banned for some time. And then the other strange plastics that are out there, some of the bioplastics and polycarbonates, and I'm not that familiar with them, but I know, we're kind of hearing some similar terms, and I'm interested in knowing a little bit more about them. So I think I'd have to do some more research on that particular number 7. But, I think you just have to use this list. I don't have it memorized myself, so, just keep in mind that there are some that are much more harmful than others for us and the environment. And of course, the other thing that a lot of people were concerned with when they came to town meeting and banned all plastics initially was because they were seeing the litter around in the summertime, particularly with all of the plastics. So from an aesthetic standpoint, we're trying to get rid of some of that litter, but from a health standpoint, we're trying to get rid of as many plastics as we can that people are eating food out of, carrying food out of.
So if you're getting samples from companies that you're thinking about working with, and they're sending, you need to ask for some technical information. If it may be hard to interpret, but the health department can help you with that.
Yeah, we are working with Aero Paper. They've been a paper company for 2 years. So he did bring in a couple other samples, but we are going to switch with the straws, and then we're trying to work with the other things.
Right.
And all those, like that little, that round bowl, that has a lid that comes with it too, so.
But how can you see the ice cream from inside the bowl?
Yeah, I'm just saying that there's options out there, so.
And like I said, we will, this type of container
Yeah,
and
that's
something
right.
like this, we will have changed by the end of this year, if not the middle of this year, no matter what.
Okay.
It's just this lid. We need to get a waiver for this lid. It covers all of our ice cream. That's the main thing, really, what we need. I don't know exactly what type it is. It says 1 with a recycle or 2 on it. I don't know exactly what type of plastic it is, but
So Larry, that's for the whipped cream, right?
Gotta have the
Cherry.
whipped cream, right.
that's it.
Not a ban on that in town, right?
Pardon?
There's no ban on the cream, is there?
No.
Hope not.
Okay. Good.
I move that we accept the waiver request from the Little Caboose Corporation, and that we start using the straws, and hopefully they will work well. Continue to work on the spoons and use up the product that they have. Come back in October at the end of the season and let us know how you've done using up all your materials and what you've replaced at that point.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Second.
We
do have a-
haven't voted- we haven't voted on this yet.
Oh, yeah,
so,
sorry.
yeah.
They got a vote.
Hopefully it goes the right way. Yeah.
I'll get you guys an ice cream.
You should have thought of that before.
Yeah, the motion's already on the table. Second?
Second,
Thank
yeah.
you, okay. All in favor, say aye. Okay, fine. Okay, you can bring the ice cream up front now.
On the table right out here where we have our samples, we do have a list of other companies. I know you said you use Arrow, which is great. There are other companies too, so.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, next on the list is the Loft Restaurant.
My name's Kathy Giano. I'm the owner of the Loft Restaurant in West Yarmouth.
I'm Kevin Richards. I'm the co-owner of Loft Restaurant in West Yarmouth. Nice to thank you for having us here today. So the second we got the information from the health department, we made copies of it and we gave it to all of our purveyors. And when it was very helpful, there was a lot of people on the list too that we weren't aware of, like Arrow Paper and Cape Cod Paper, some people that we don't traditionally use. So in the process of all of that, we did we switched, we found the Habitat tea bags that we also brought to the health department because no one else had known about them. They're a great product. And we switched to those we switched to back when it first happened. Inside there's a black to-go container. We originally switched to that. And it's actually, even though it's black, it's acceptable, because it's reusable.
It's microwavable. It's not
microwavable.
single use.
It's not recyclable, though, here in town, because it's black.
Okay, so anyway, we originally got that, and we were told that it was good, but we didn't. We kept studying and kept talking to companies, and we now use these. We went and got these. So
We don't have the black anymore.
we don't have any black. Well, we have like a week worth of probably little containers of black, and the rest of they're being delivered tomorrow actually, for the outdoor restroom, which opens on Friday. So we have switched to all of these. We also found the seashell straws and to-go cutlery kits, which we're switching to those. And sometimes we're going to use, it depends, because there's some availability issues. It's pretty new for everybody. So sometimes we're going to go to World Centric, and we'll use World Centric through PFG. So, but either way, we're going to be compliant with cutlery kits and that stuff. Well, we ran into some issues for us in the waiver that we're respectfully putting before you. We're asking for a waiver for 4 products, 2-ounce and 4-ounce portion cups, and 12-ounce and 16-ounce cups and lids that go with all of those products. So really hard to find the 2 and 4-ounce portion cups. I know that Papagino's had already asked for that same waiver. And then I found out from Barry just a few days ago that he found a product. So we're going to look into that. And if we can find that and it works, and we still have a couple of cases of the other stuff, we certainly would switch right to that. The plastic cups, we're a little bit more in distress. We've got about 15,000 cups that we're already in-house. So we'd like to be able to get through that stock, and then at the end of the season be able to transition to something more expensive and more compliant, and we could make some adjustments to our product presentation. So we certainly want to work with you, and we've done a lot of research and changed a lot already. The cups and the portion cups have been hard.
Are these branded cups?
No.
No, okay, good.
No, ma'am.
Should be easier for you then.
Appreciate the effort you put into
Thank you.
it.
Portion cups for sauces?
Yeah, so you get some chicken wings to go. You need ranch dressing. You need buffalo sauce. They don't make those packets. That you can get a ketchup packet. You can get a relish packet.
That was one of the products that the restaurateurs that were on our plastic reduction committee had the most concern about, was those small ones. So Barry finding that suitable alternative, we hope, is good.
What company was that?
It's on the list. I can't recommend any companies due to conflict of
I get
interest
it.
rules.
It's one of those. I get it. Okay.
I'd love to tell you, but
No, I get it. We have the list still. Okay.
if you look at one of the products there might be a name on the bottom of one of those ones in front of you. It's the same.
Okay.
There, I don't know. No. Sorry.
Doesn't matter. We'll figure it out.
Have you?
There's only so many companies.
Have you used this cutlery yet? Has
have.
it been
Yeah,
any
that's fine.
any issues? No?
Nope.
Great.
Yeah, we have another box coming in tomorrow, and but we may go back and forth between, but still on the list, World Centric, through PFG. Depends on availability for that product.
And what did you say the cost difference was
A quarter of a cent, which is
per unit?
per unit, which is significant.
Quarter of a cent?
When you're putting out thousands of straws, that adds up.
Basically, I think all of the products are a little more expensive, aren't they?
Well, they all are, yeah.
They're all more expensive.
They all are.
Yeah. So you have to, really. We're hoping by the end of the season, the end of the year, economies are better in America. That all the prices will come down, and it's easier to absorb these costs, and not pass that all on to consumer. We're trying not to do that too, and it's hard enough to come to Cape Cod this summer when you're going to be paying $4.50 a gallon for gas. So we're trying to, not.
One of the things we talked about in terms of cutlery in the meeting was not automatically giving it out if you're doing a to-go order, which I assume is what you're using it for.
We pretty much give it out with to-go orders, yeah.
Yeah, but just asking, do you need?
Sure, we'd be happy to do that.
I mean, that's just make it
Yeah.
easier for you.
So we're actually in a resort. A lot of our to go, they have silverware in the room, so we don't give it out as just automatically crazy because they have silver in the room. But we definitely give it out upstairs more.
My one main concern, which is it's going to be a good concern, now that we're talking about that seashell cutlery ware on live TV and a lot of people are watching it.
Oh, cool.
Supply. And if a lot of people order it, hopefully they have enough supply of it. So.
Well, they're a new company, just being cautious because of that, and it's a new market.
I think it could blow up on Cape Cod, I think.
Yeah, but PFG was at their food show.
Okay.
Right here on Cape Cod. It was at Margaritaville. And I would assume if they're at the food show that they're going to do their best to be in stock.
Anybody? Anything else?
I'll give it a go. I move we approve the 4 waivers listed for the Loft Restaurant, which is 16-ounce plastic cup, 12-ounce plastic cup, universal plastic lid, and 2 and 4-ounce portion cups with lids.
And
Until end of the season?
October?
End of the
End of the year? Month?
November, December.
December?
Okay, December
That way we'll be.
26th.
you'll find out if people agree. So which month do you want to put into the motion?
Let's say December.
How about while the supply lasts?
Or until.
Or until
Sure.
supplies run out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whichever comes first.
And again, if you do run out, get in
good
touch
thing.
with Phil and just let him know you're more in compliance. So.
Not a problem. It's not that big a deal. Once we run out, when we're going to another product, we assume it's going to be more like November, not October, based on our sales and the amount of product we have.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Let's go. Yes. Good. All right.
Thank you very much.
Bring in the products.
Yeah, keep that and you
Thank
put them
you.
on the table if it helps.
I will.
Yeah. Thank you.
God
Great.
bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just have a great season.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Howlett Stores next.
Charles Clark, owner of Hallett Store in Yarmouthport.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a waiver pretty much for this year for the compliance on the cutlery. I only use very limited amount of portions of them, but I have so much of it that I bought over the years that I'll never ever get rid of it. And the idea is I've complied with a lot of the things that you've asked for. And the idea is the compostable plastic silverware does add a huge expense to whatever you're doing. And the idea is, and they were talking about the 2-ounce proportion cups, I use it a really, and when you buy it, you gotta buy like 500 of these things. So you're sitting on a huge amount of inventory when you had a small shop. Over the winter, I bought 1,000 spoons, and I didn't realize that I should have waited because I had an event going on for the Christmas stroll, and now I'm stuck with them all, and it's just one of those things. I'm trying to distinguish the inventory I have.
What are you using now that to be in compliance with?
Well, it's basically, most of the cutlery is all plastic that I have, but I don't use it in the consistencies. A lot of big places, like the seafood places, you know, you end up buying, the main thing would be the soup spoon and the ice cream spoon. I'll probably clean that out, but like the knives and the forks, I've had that inventory probably for 3 years, because I only use very rarely. And this would be something I'd put like a salad dressing in if somebody wanted something to go. In that respect, is because it's minimal of what I do in the restaurant for that part of it. A lot of my things are made, packaged, pretty simple, in a bag with a napkin to go. And it is trying to be compliance with using less waste in the beginning. If you don't give it to them, they ain't gonna leave it around.
So, Mr. Clark, you're asking for a waiver for the items you listed?
Well, the cutlery mostly, and the idea is in some of the plastic 2-ounce things for the year.
That listed on the waiver?
I believe I tried to list it as best I could. There's so much limited little stuff that I'm working with Phil to saying, how do I get rid of all this inventory? You know, because to replace it all would be an exorbitant cost, and just to haul it all to the dump would be just, in my mind, not being in compliance with what you're trying to do, you know. You're trying to prevent people from using it because you want it compostable, but a lot of our stuff goes to CMAS, where we incinerate it all. So I don't understand why you're having a compostable product that you're gonna burn, you know.
The 2-ounce cups, you said you have to buy 200 at a time.
Well, I got like 500 on stock, but I probably use maybe 10 a week.
And that's just during the summer.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, depending on what I'm putting into it. I don't go through a lot of inventory on some of the small things. It's like somebody might want mayonnaise to go, and I got a little thing like that, and that's not compliance. And then they want a knife, you know, to spread it, you know. It just means a lot of inventory that I would have to replenish for stuff that I still have hundreds of items on.
And you have a cup there.
Well, I got this from Wendy's to see how they were doing it with their plastic, and I tried to find the codes and seeing the straws. So I'm learning.
Right.
And I've talked to WB Mason, and I've talked to Cisco on getting the newest stuff, but it does add a huge expense to what you're doing.
So right now, if you go in and buy a dish of ice cream or a
You'd
frap,
get a spoon, and you get a
what's the
paper cup.
container? What the actual?
You get a paper cup.
Paper cup.
Yeah.
So to be consistent, wouldn't we need the item to grant the waiver, wouldn't we need it to be on the waiver form for us to grant the waiver? Or do we have to stick specifically to what's listed?
I think we can add it right now, the 2-ounce cups.
Okay.
And the tinier ones, what are those?
Oh, yeah, this is 1 ounce. This is just a 1 ounce.
And you said you have how many of them?
I would say I probably have 1,000 of the small cups, but and I actually have a paper one I would use if I didn't have to and that would be in compliance.
If people were staying inside?
Well, if they didn't need the lid and,
Right, okay.
you know, things like that. That's what I tried to do,
Right.
depending on what your,
And what are your lids? What lids are you using now?
well, they're a plastic lid that fits the cup.
So that would have to be listed as well then, correct?
Yep.
And the minute the cutlery, you know, comes out of, you know, use, I would convert it to the compostable one. So,
So this makes
I-
it more difficult
I,
time-wise, that's all.
yeah, I just
Knowing what to-
think you just keep using
Yeah.
what you have, and in good faith, as soon as it's gone.
oh, yeah.
Try to replace it with, by then, there might be something even better available.
Well, that's what hopefully the goal becomes, is that we're making things that are better and cheaper for the consumer. Because this is what's happening to the businesses. If you went and talked to the suppliers first and put the burden on them, you can't sell it to us. I think that would make the fast
Right.
production.
I think that's what's going to help, but the supply chain is not geared up yet for, I
Right,
think, the
yeah,
demand that
yeah.
we're going to be making on it. But
Sorry. We certainly should have a date attached to this for an update on how things are going.
Yeah, well, I keep informed with Phil, and Phil would be letting you know, because, you know, I'm seasonal, and the idea is, and depending on how the season goes, would mean what I distinguish in my inventory. And of course, what I've been hearing from the people on the Cape, it's been a slow start.
Yeah, it's really meant for us that I think each business needs a deadline to speak with us.
Oh, yes, yeah, I agree.
That's what we're going to put into a motion right now.
I would say,
So
you
you'll know
probably-
when we need to speak with you again.
Yeah.
Phil may be in before that, but still,
Yeah.
okay?
I would say next year, if that would make sense. You know,
When do you close for the season?
it depends on how the season goes, but I ran it up until like almost the first week in December. You know,
so let's say December then.
That's your month, so come on. You win that one.
Same one, same.
Do we need a date in December?
No, just December.
First Monday.
What's that?
First Monday.
First Monday, okay. I move that we approve the waivers listed for Hallett's Store on 139 Main Street, Yarmouth Port, until anticipated closing date in December. So we would hope to see you back here first Monday in December
Give us an update.
for an update.
Second that.
oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can do that.
Okay, agree with everyone else. Let's go. In favor? Yeah. Larry, you're on board? Great. Have a good season, sir.
And if you do run out, you will start.
Oh,
being
yeah,
compliant.
I've already put into the suppliers that's how I was gonna.
And if you're friendly with any other ice cream shops off of Yarmouth,
I've
see
been,
if
I've been
they,
actually going around to see what they are, but a lot of them can't find other products.
as I say, maybe you could sell them some of your old product if you have to, so.
Yeah, that would be good.
Outside of Yarmouth,
Outside of Yarmouth, that's why I said, so,
Yeah,
not Falmouth, but. yeah.
already, thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Spice Boss Restaurant and Grill.
Good evening.
Hi there.
Grantley McIntosh, owner.
Natola Clark, owner.
Okay. So what are you requesting?
So we are here requesting some waivers for 16 ounce to go, 16 ounce to go drinks, cup bottles, the 6 by 8 to go containers and the 9 by 9, and also the 2 ounce ramekins. So currently we are using both the plastics, and we're also using some of the biodegradables. However, we have recently opened our doors since March, and we do a lot of deliveries like takeouts. Well, we do dine-ins too, but for the takeout, we realize that we are getting a lot of complaints from our customers that these containers are soaked with gravies or sauces, and then ends the box, they are torn. However, we realize too that that can cause some form of contamination, because sometimes we do for the delivery more than one items, and then one will get leaked onto the other. So that is one of our biggest concern right now. Customers complaining with to go, but we do try our best to work with the biodegradables. But if we're going to do the takeouts, we'll try to use the plastic to-go containers, which make it much easier for the delivery transition. These are the ones that we are currently using. If you walk in, then we will give you, but when it comes to for the delivery, then we will send this out like with Uber Eats or DoorDash, because sometimes they are going pretty far. Because we are in Yarmouth, and sometimes delivery goes to Orleans, and so that's a good little distance. So by the time you reach, gravy will soak up in this one, while it doesn't with this one. So this is one of the numbers on the waivers list. So this is a number 5 on the list. And this one is the number 1 for the juice. We do have this one, but it gets soft once you put the juice in, once you're traveling far. So what we do is we still use this one, and when they are going, then we'll give them in this one, if they are going far, just for delivery. Once you're dining, we'll give you the glass to dine. So these are the only things that we are basically asking for the waivers. This is the tones. This is what we use inside the restaurant. So if you put this one inside, we will don't send this one out, but this one for like sauces, because we do the jerk sauce, the barbecue sauce, and all the dressing. So we'll use this one for the to-go, which make it much easier.
And the other one you use?
This is used when we are dining.
Okay, and is that washable and reusable?
Yes. Yes. So we try our best to comply with all the other items. We ask our suppliers, garden. They try their best to work with us, gardens and performance. And we went to one of the food show. They are fully aware of what's happening in Yarmouth. So this was one of the things that was recommended, this item. It's a number 5, which is on the list as a waiver. So we were told we could go ahead and use it in the meantime, and then until to see if we were granted the waiver for the time that we asked for.
And so for people who eat in, you use regular?
Yeah, regular dining setting for dining.
It's just the to-go that's the biggest problem, the takeout. Because, once a lady, we are new on the Cape. We're not new to business, but we're new on the Cape. And when you have bad feedback, when you just open your business, that's not good. And a lady complained, she said by the time she went home and she took up her box, it was in 2. So we apologize, and we actually, apologize and then we basically gave her back something next time when she came. So that's why we asked for the waiver with these, because when you lift this, then the gravy will not spill in this one. We try to use also, say for example, we're giving meals with gravy. We tried this cup, the smaller ones, to put it inside of this one with the meat, but it will still soak up here. So I don't know. This is where we are now. So we're just here hoping and praying that we'll get this waiver, because we are new. We're trying our best to work with whatever the town of Yarmouth, required for us to use, but
And the juice bottles, that's not just takeout, you make up juices.
yes. So it's just what we do is we basically have them in containers. So whenever you're going, if it is going far, then we'll use this one. But if not, once you come in, we'll give you the. But if we realize that the order is going out, like for Uber Eats or DoorDash, then it's more, and it's kind of safer, because this, once you seal it, the seal, once it is delivered, once the seal, if you realize the seal is broken, then it was tampered with. For this one, you're right there, you come in, we'll give you it, it's your food, then no one will tamper with it. So we're saying that this one is much safer when we're doing delivery. And it's one of the items on the list that is waiver, what you could be granted waivers for.
You mentioned delivery, and I don't think that's come up yet before. Have you had feedback from the delivery people about the suitability of some of the containers that you tried that you said the customers didn't like?
In terms of the person who is taking it to the
They have
customer?
problems with it. Was it leaking when they brought it to the house that they were delivering it to?
No, the
or-
delivery person wouldn't know that, but the customer, when they open the bag, that's the
Okay.
time they found out.
They found
it's-
out that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because what we normally do is we basically staple the bags so you would not get inside or see what's in there, because we think it's much safer once you seal off everything. It's food, it's going out, you don't want anybody to tamper with it. So it's when you get your items and you open your bag, then you realize, because sometimes it's more than one item that's in the bag. So it could be that the one at the top leaked and the one at the bottom. So that's the issue we're having.
So can we grant a waiver until they find a substitute for what they need? Could we just provide a waiver for the year for them until they can find a substitute?
Yes.
Just need a month.
Pardon?
We need a month. Just, we're keeping a log and just
Okay,
being as
so what
specific as we can.
month would
We
you?
go till
The end of December.
December, okay.
Yes.
So can I propose that we grant a waiver to Spice Boss Restaurant to use the products that they're using now until they find suitable substitute to dispense their products
Right.
Second.
until December?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Discussion, anyone, anything?
Thank
Okay.
you for
I'm
the
good with-
efforts you've made already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's vote. Everyone in favor? I assume so. Welcome to Yarmouth. Good luck in the business.
Thanks very much.
Hope you have a great first season.
Thank you.
We're hoping.
Okay, next up is PMJD Guys Incorporated.
Hello, my name is Nick Morey. I'm the owner of CBPB, used to be the other guys. And I asked for the waiver for the 2-ounce souffle cups like a lot of other people. I guess I just have a question as well. If it's listed as compostable, is that acceptable?
No.
No.
Not necessarily, because like I said, and maybe what we can do eventually is put down some information about the time it takes for these to become composted, to be actually recycled into the earth. Sometimes it's decades.
Right. Like those green bags we're not allowed to use, right?
Not in Yarmouth, no.
Right.
It's the paper
Okay.
bags.
And then that black container, I know you're not allowed to use black, but if it was white, is that acceptable? Because I was told not to use those as well.
If it's white, when it, in what?
That the
what
gentleman
plastic?
from the loft brought in.
Right here.
Yeah. That one there, is that, if that were white, would that be acceptable?
Well, what plastic was it made out of?
Is that 5?
Yes, I think it's 5.
I think it's 5. Eric, based upon your age, you're probably the first to read it.
I think I saw a 5 on
I
there.
think there's 5. Is there a second
5,
motion?
yeah.
there? What do you think? Looks like 5.
I mean, it's polypropylene, it's still a plastic. The fact that it's, I mean, where does it say compostable? Is that the symbol for it here?
It's microwavable, so it means it's reusable.
Oh, micro, so it's
Oh,
reusable. No,
So I had those containers, and I was told by Phil not to use those, and they say microwavable on them.
yeah.
So am I allowed to
Microwavable-
use those?
That doesn't change the fact that it's plastic.
But it's not single-use plastic, right?
That's, I don't think that's part of this regulation, is it?
Well, we talk about single use. I guess I'd have to look at that. I think,
Because I'd much rather use those for, burrito bowls and stuff than these, because like the Spice Boss folks were saying, stuff does soak through these. So if it's labeled microwavable, if it's not single use, is that going to be okay?
it's the number of plastic that's on here that will determine.
So microwavable's got nothing to do with it? Okay. Okay. So yeah, like everybody else, the 2-ounce cups, I can't find one that are good. The lids come right off after you get some liquid in there. So you mentioned before that you found one. Maybe we can, I'll find it, but so far, yeah, these are, after an hour or two with liquid in them, they don't work. So that's why I was asking for the waiver for the 2-ounce cups and lids.
2 things. One, just so you're aware, at least according to the regulations, there's 7 types of plastics, am I right?
Yes.
Just for when you're out there
Listed on that
looking.
sheet.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of these that are listed as compostable that are plastic, but I guess that's kind of, I don't think any of them were compliant. That's why I filled out the waiver.
Right, so the number's
So I just
gonna
wanted clarification on the whole
Plastic
compost,
number
the
is gonna be
labeled as
key.
compostable thing.
Okay, the plastic number is going to be key to follow the regulations. This is
Right.
how it was written. I said once before, tonight was, you'll end up coming before the board, or at least probably just going to the health department. And I need to point out once again, the application wasn't really completed at all.
Really?
On the second page, there's a request, reasons for requesting relief, there's nothing in there. There's something, area for reason for requesting relief, nothing was written in there. So just keep that in mind, we need complete applications, okay? It's our responsibility to enforce this.
Well, I think I want to point out that he's only requesting two waivers.
I have the second.
So he did list the reason requesting relief for those 2 waivers.
Okay,
I
so
think
they're both
those-
there? I
Yeah,
apologize,
no,
if they're
no.
both up there, that's great.
I think
Okay,
those would
apologize.
just be if there's more.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the rest of it is obviously complete, it's fine.
Just for clarification, the issue with black plastic, in our recycling center, our transfer station, black is not
Correct.
recyclable.
Because the person, the company that buys the plastic from the town, their machine does not recognize black and it tosses it out. However, apart from that, this is 5
Right.
propylene.
Right.
So I don't care what color it is, it's still plastic. It might be microwavable, I sure wouldn't do it. I don't care if it says it is or not. I wouldn't microwave my food in plastic container of any kind. I think people are making efforts to maybe eliminate the use of plastics per se, and they're coming out with things like this, but the fact that you can reuse it, it's still plastic, you know? It can be put in the microwave, but so what? You know, it's still polypropylene plastic, and that doesn't make it acceptable to me. I mean, it's not a waiver reason.
I mean, the end of its life is what happens to it is really the important point you're making.
Right, I mean, eventually, it's not going to compost, it's just going to be in the waste stream as plastic. Yeah. I doubt that people would continue to use it, keep it at home as a special item they could put food in and reheat, you know, well, it sounds like you're really on the ball, you just have those small containers.
Just these, yeah, that's it.
That's good.
Appreciate the effort.
Yeah, no problem.
So can we make a motion?
Absolutely.
I'd like to make a motion that we grant PMJD a waiver for the two items, the 2-ounce portion cup, 2-ounce portion cup lid. Grant them a waiver until December.
Well, let's say October, from the end of the season,
Yeah.
is that okay? Yeah. Second.
Any discussion? I don't see any. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Have a good season.
All right, thank you so
Okay.
much. Have a good one.
Okay. Okay, next up is Sea Dog Brew Pub/Cafe.
I don't see anybody online or on Zoom.
It's unfortunate.
Were they the ones that were supposed to come last meeting? Yes. They were. Do you know why they're not coming? Anyone know?
They were coming.
So it's 2 meetings now, they haven't been.
All right, we'll follow up with some regulatory.
Maybe send Phil over and see what's going on, or
I can go over,
make
yeah.
a phone call, whatever is best for you. Okay.
Can I just reiterate, I just want to read the regulation just real quick on what's allowed. So there is certified compostable products that are not PLA. So I just want to, there are several items listed here that are what we are looking for people to use. So I'll do some more homework on what the compostable is, but.
Right, but this is just microwavable.
Right, I'm not saying that product, but I'm saying we use the word not compostable, but we want to be careful because it does say in there
Right.
certified compostable products that are not PLA. So I just want to throw that out there just because I will do some more research on our end, but I believe if it says compostable, I do think it's allowed, but we will find out some.
And I,
We can talk about
Yeah.
that.
and we can talk about if it's single use or not. That was my understanding. If it was had multiple uses in its life, that it was all right.
I'm just trying to get direction too for the board,
Yeah.
since people will be coming too, so I just want to clear that up. But we'll do some more research on our end too as well, Mary, just a good point.
If it's anything, then that means, and I'm going to throw you guys under the bus right now, that Stop Shop's going to have to get rid of all their Tupperware containers on their shelves. They're going to have to get rid of all that stuff.
No, because those are not.
That's plastic, though. I mean,
There's no food in them that people are taking out. They're not taking out food in them. They're just containers that they're selling. So I don't agree with that interpretation.
On the issue with Sea Dog, is there any regulation to make them comply to come
Yes.
when they're?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, they've taken up somebody else's place. So do we have a backlog of other people that are applying for waivers?
Yes.
Because this is the second time that they haven't
Yep.
come, so.
I will 100% follow up with them. And if not, I'll send them a certified letter, and if they're not in compliance, and we can follow up with action from there. It's not what the plan was.
Or at least let us know if they can't make it, we could give their spot to somebody else.
They have a responsibility. All these owners have been coming and really giving presentations and doing their work, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, their waiver application is pretty straightforward, and certainly we understand the concern that the person has.
There may be some extenuating circumstances where they can't make it.
They have a large operation.
But
We-
this is
we've
just
had-
the cafe.
Yeah.
This is just the coffee shop.
Oh, this is pub and coffee.
Oh, both, okay.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
Sorry,
big over
both.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if, we've had some three-person operations that were able to make it, so.
Right,
Right.
okay.
All right.
Just keep in mind, if we're still trying to figure this out, I mean, it's just, you know, store owners obviously have their problems too, trying to figure it out. So we all need to keep in mind.
Yeah, and it's just one more item on their plate they have to deal with along with everything else.
Yep, exactly.
Especially this time of year.
Yep.
And that was a pun, not on their plate or whatever.
Depends on how you want to look at it.
Depends on what
Okay.
the plate is made out of.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Seashells, all right. Okay, looks like Stop and Shop Supermarket Company is on tonight's agenda here as well.
Just to let you guys know, you're the first grocery store that's come in front of us, so you're the first one for all of us, so we'll go through these.
So, welcome, just introduce yourselves and what you're looking for tonight.
All right. So good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to speak on behalf of Stop and Shop and to everybody here. My name's Joe Crisologo. I'm Quality Assurance Specialist for Stop and Shop for the state of Massachusetts and a little bit of Rhode Island.
I'm Tina Songer. I'm the store manager of 55 Long Pond, as well as representing Station Ave on both accounts.
And Brian Dumas, operations manager at Stop and Shop.
Okay. So, this afternoon, we would like to request an extension for the plastics ban on behalf of the two Stop and Shop stores in the Cape, in Yarmouth. We respectfully submit this request for an extension from the town's plastic packaging ban. We fully support Yarmouth's environmental goals and are committed to reducing waste, and sustainability has long been one of Stop and Shop's highest priorities. Stop and Shop is an innovator and thought leader in the sustainability space with robust food waste minimization processes, as well as ambitious Race to Zero goals that Brian will be speaking of shortly, that aim to protect our environment and our communities as well. However, at this time, we are unable to fully eliminate all the plastic packaging due to significant unavoidable operational limitations. So plastic packaging is currently used across all of our departments, including prepared foods, bakery, deli, seafood, meat. For many of these products, plastic remains the only food-safe packaging option that meets required standards for heat tolerance, durability, leak prevention, and food safety. Barry, you mentioned there are definitely some alternatives out there. I believe you have a list of some companies. I would love to get the list and then send it out to Wayne Stewart, who is basically in charge of our supply chain for Stop and Shop.
The table right outside, right on the left, front left, is the list of it.
Awesome, thank you. So many of the ready-to-eat items must be packaged in materials that maintain strict temperature controls, such as the hot rotisserie chicken. It has to maintain a temperature of over 140 degrees, right? Criteria that numerous alternative materials cannot yet reliably meet. Products sold at Stop and Shop must be able to adhere to both ready-to-eat temperature controls as well as multi-day storage for customers who plan to consume their prepared foods purchased at a later date. Suitable non-plastic alternatives are not readily available in the quantities required by our full-service grocery stores of our size. Even when alternatives exist, suppliers are currently unable to provide consistent, large-scale, food-safe options that meet both food safety and operational standards. This creates supply chain challenges that would disrupt daily service and compromise product quality and safety for our customers. We remain committed to transitioning away from plastic innovations in food-safe packaging, continue to develop. We are actively reviewing new materials, communicating with vendors, and piloting alternative packaging where feasible. However, until viable options become broadly available and reliably supplied, compliance with the ban in the near term would materially impact our ability to safely prepare, package, and sell essential grocery items. So I'm going to leave it up to Brian and talk about our sustainability mission.
Yep, so like Joe mentioned, so we take our sustainability mission very seriously at Stop and Shop for some time now in every single store. So right now, we divert nearly 82% of our total waste from the landfills through our recycling stream. So that's really cardboard and paper recycling, wax cardboard, plastics, really plastic film or the rigid plastics, and a very thorough food waste program as well too. So something we stress very much with all our stores. We take it very seriously. So we're definitely committed. We have like a reverse pyramid that we really focus on with our stores, where number one is always obviously we want to sell. We want to sell our product. Number two is donate. So we have a very good relationship with the Greater Boston Food Bank and a lot of the food pantries on the Cape. So we don't want that to just go right into, if we can't sell it, we don't want it to go to food waste. We want to try to donate that where we can. If it's not donatable, if it's not edible, at that point we go to our food waste recycling stream. And then last is always trash. We really, last case scenario, whatever goes in the compactor, if we exhaust all those other scenarios there. So again, we really want to trying to work with everyone. We take this very seriously, our sustainability mission in our stores. So again, something we really want to keep focusing on and work with you on this.
So therefore, Stop and Shop respectfully requests an extension that would allow us to continue using plastic packaging until safe, compliant, and scalable alternatives are available. We appreciate your consideration of the consumer impact of eliminating plastics, as well as Stop and Shop's sustainability efforts. We welcome the opportunity to discuss our efforts and challenges in greater detail. Thank you for your time and for your commitment to balancing environmental stewardship with the practical needs of the community. Thank you. So we'll leave it up to the board.
I have a question. Have you moved to any like reusable, compostable like products yet? Like for your
Or silverware.
your cutlery ware you have?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
What do you use your cutlery for?
Salads, soups.
Oh,
we have
okay.
we have a fork and a knife that is
Okay.
compostable.
At like a salad bar or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
take home salads. Yes.
I have some questions. You're using number 6 on 23 items foam trays and 22 items for clear hinged clamshells. But number 6 is the polystyrene, which has been prohibited in Yarmouth for a
Yeah,
number of years.
that's a typo. So the foam trays. So that number 6 are the foam trays that you're referring to, right? So the foam trays that
Is that meat and seafood?
meat and seafood, that's meat and seafood, and
That's already exempt.
yeah.
Right.
That's
The
the
only thing we
only.
use foam trays for.
Yeah, that was
So-
the only.
Okay.
Yep.
But you're saying that there are alternatives for that. You said if number 1, PET packaging is permitted, alternatives can be implemented for the following items, the
Right.
foam trays.
So it's funny you mention that, Mary, because I picked up actually I have it out there, but the black foam tray is labeled number 4, actually, the one that we're currently using.
Okay. No waiver on that either, though. That's a low-density polyethylene.
Okay.
But the 6 definitely is, just banned in town. So the clear hinged clamshells, they're not number 6 that you're using for 22 items.
No, they're typically number 1, I
Right.
believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that would be, and you said it's for 22 items, that would be 22 of the 79 items on the first page, is that
Probably.
it?
Yeah, this is, so this is what Christina, so yeah, number 1, 79, and then the clamshells, that would be in.
Right.
And these numbers are the baseline numbers. It's the minimal amount.
Right.
I guarantee.
Right. So, but what you're saying is you can eliminate 22 of these 79 items, or you would, is that part of it? I don't understand. You said alternatives can be implemented. And you're saying in substitution for number 6, but that's not what you mean, or unless you do use styrofoam clamshells. You?
No.
No.
So what is it that's being substituted here? Because you're already using number 1s for your clamshells on the first page. So what,
I don't, see, unfortunately, Christina Dwyer, who's in charge of.
Right.
She's not, unfortunately, she's not available. So that's something that we can revisit.
yeah, I'd to know that, yeah. And number 7, there's no waiver for, but you said you can find an alternative to that.
Yes, and there's not too many, again, she noted 14 items, but really, we ripped through Tina's store this afternoon, and I didn't find any number 7s.
Well, it just says 14 items, and
Right.
maybe they're not always out there for sale, but, you know, if they are,
She might
the
have
volume
listed-
that you have, they're
She
gonna-
might have listed everything that's available to all stores, and we don't use them in this area. So she might have listed it that way.
so we can check on that, too.
Yes.
And then I have a question about the window bakery cartons. Those, I understand, those are cardboard, and they have a plastic window. So you're asking for, it doesn't say what type of plastic is there. So I mean, what are we dealing with here?
I can't,
I can't answer that with any authority.
yeah, I wish Wayne
don't,
Stewart were here.
I don't know what that
Right, okay.
plastic, what number that is.
Right, because that's what this is all about, is the
Yeah.
plastic. So,
Right.
okay, so you can check on that for us.
There are bags that would meet regulations, certainly not with windows. So, I
No,
mean,
this is a box. This is a box.
box.
This is a box.
then what's the window bags then with the bakery items?
Yeah, that's something else. Yeah.
Oh, window bags. So let's say you go to Stop and Shop and buy a loaf of Italian bread. It's in that plastic bag.
Sleeve, yeah.
Okay.
Plastic sleeve. That's what we're referring to here. Breads, rolls.
But it doesn't tell what type of plastic that is. either.
That plastic is
I believe it's number 4, I wanna say. Number 2.
number 2.
And then, so back to number, on the first page, number 1, PET, 79 items. So right now, you are not looking at any of the possible substitutes for cake containers, clear clamshells, platters, et cetera.
Oh, we certainly are. It's just a matter of supply issues.
We look at, Wayne, unfortunately, like you said, is not available. He looks at these things. That is his only number 1 job, is to look for things that are more, environmentally friendly.
Right.
But with the amount of stores that we have to, or I should say Stop and Shop has to give supply and demand for, we just don't have an alternative for that at this point.
So the co-extruded materials, chicken bags, hot food packaging, what plastic is that?
Oh, the chicken bags, that would be hot food packaging. Is that 5? Hot food?
Number 5.
5.
Like rotisserie chicken or something like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Yep.
It has to be a certain kind of.
I do not have any problem with the produce bags, meat bags, seafood bags, the food grade film, the deli meat and cheese bags, and the hot food packaging, because it's a food safety issue. I understand that.
Certainly.
But some of the other, the cake containers, clear clamshells, et cetera,
I think the issue there, Mary, is gonna be consumer palatability with it. I mean, they're gonna wanna see what they're buying, aren't they?
well, there are clear clamshells that are available
Are they?
that are, maybe not as harmful. But I understand that.
The window
yes.
bakery carton, the 5 items listed.
Right, and I'm not saying I'm against that, because I don't even know what plastic numbers it is and whether there's any problem with it.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you.
I understand. So we'll find out exactly what plastic that is. So to your point, Lawrence, for example, I go into Stop and Shop and I purchase a half sheet pan birthday cake. It's in a, right now, it might be, is it going to be in a cardboard box? How do you display that? Are we going to have to create a birthday cake, put it in the display case as an example for the customer to see? That's one alternative.
Well, we do that for someone who has a custom cake made. They go into a cardboard container. It's not plastic. But like he said, to display it, for somebody to say, I want this kind of cake, to see it, it has to be in plastic.
Well, it has to be cardboard with a
clear.
plastic window. Doesn't have to be all plastic, does it?
No,
For food safety, it depends on what the ingredients are in it, because we have different kinds of frostings.
Yeah,
and what
I would like.
temperature.
Yeah, and I would like to see that plastic clamshell, right, Barry? That's good.
I'm confused on it, I'll be honest.
Oh,
if
okay.
That one.
So, but yeah, so look, just, I mean, I feel empathy for the mom and pop places that are, because it's severe, and we want to do the right thing, but the significant impact upon Stop and Shop is going to be significant. I know bakery probably has the biggest impact on the bakery goods.
Yeah, because like Larry said, the bakery is probably more an aesthetic kind of concern other than a food safety concern. It's more like you want people to be able to see what they're getting.
We
like
eat
the
with
ice
our
cream
eyes, right?
people.
We eat with our eyes, and if I want to see what I'm buying
Right.
before I buy it.
Right.
So I think like I said, I wish Wayne Stewart were here to speak on behalf of the supply chain issues, but a lot of these items, based on our needs, they can't supply it.
You mean the volume, or they
Yes.
don't have the?
The volume.
Volume, or they don't have it, yeah, probably the
No,
volume.
but keep asking, because a
Sure.
company like yours has got that kind of power behind them because of the volume and because of the number of stores you have and because of the way things are going. So if you are pressing them on that issue, it's going to mean a whole lot more than the mom and pop stores that we see that, just
That's what
buy
we're
when
hoping. Like
there's
Tina
a good
said, the
deal.
team's working on this on a regular basis because they know it's it's important and it's serious. But again, it's the supply, it's the cost of it, and where that cost is going to be absorbed, and trying to get through that. But again, like you said, keep putting the pressure on, then hopefully
Right.
it improves. Yeah.
Now, what percentage of communities that you're dealing with have these regulations?
So, as you know, Falmouth, we actually received a waiver from 1, 2, 3, and 5 from the town of Falmouth. The town of Hudson Hudson, Mass. Is currently seeking a plastics 1 through 7. That's currently in the works. The town of there's a lot of towns that have. So the plastic ban for the water originally, what was that? Was that cases of water of 20?
Single use,
Single use.
under a gallon.
Under a gallon, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so there's a significant, I can't tell you off the top of my head, but that's a significant number, but that is slowly moving towards the plastics 1 through 7 ban.
I think that'll probably improve the availability as more of these
Absolutely.
towns.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
From a different perspective, I mean, should this board assume that there aren't any competitors of yours, any other national large grocery stores that aren't abiding by regulations like this?
I'm not going to call anybody's name out, but I know that I've visited stores in towns that have plastic bans, and it's tough to find the viable options. Now, I don't know if they received waivers or variances. I'm not privy to that information. But but for the grocery retail community, until some more of these plastic bans are created and enforced, it's going to be a tough call for those supply chains to keep up with the demands.
One thing that comes to mind to me, not necessarily a question, but I'm seeing some items here like fine cheese wrap and clamshell containers. This isn't just products that Stop and Shop is making and packaging, right? I mean, I'm thinking of like a clamshell of lettuce that you buy in or cheese that you buy from another
Yeah, we get a third-party vendor for some of those, yes.
producer. So the third party would have to have a viable option, or you would have to discontinue carrying the product, right?
I think, isn't the third party?
Third party is exempt. It's only products.
In store.
Yeah, it's for only the product that we're producing in store.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's a good point, Eric. So let me give you an example of the plastic clamshell for cut fruit. If we don't find a viable option, we still have to offer that cut fruit to the customer. So what we're going to have to do is reach out to a third party. If that happens, quality is a concern. Freshness is a big concern. Food safety, we're not relying on our own food safety program. We're relying on a third-party program. And last but not least, that third party is going to deliver that cut fruit in the exact same plastic that is not authorized for us to put our cut fruit in. So at the end of the day, not to mention cost, but at the end of the day, it's a net zero gain, if you think about it that way. Because they'll be shipping that plastic, that cut fruit in the exact same plastic container that we're not allowed to use. Does that make sense?
And our products are also multi-use. It's, when you buy, go back to the cakes or the cookies, it's not just a one-time use. They're having some, putting it away to store it, and then they're going back again. So it's for multi-use, most of our products. In the bake shop, it's not a single use, it's a multi-use.
I don't understand what you're saying.
So if I buy an 8-inch cake, and it's just me and my husband, I still have half the cake left.
Right.
Unless he's really hungry. Then I'm gonna close that lid, and I might have another slice the next day.
Right.
But if it's in a container that's not necessarily plastic, it might not hold up for however long.
Right.
It's not gonna be fresh.
Right.
So that was my point.
Right, okay. I have no problem with giving you the waiver for 1, 2, 3, and 5, and then having the questions answered about the, just the plastic in the window.
Okay.
And also that whole thing about number 6 supposedly says the clear hinged clamshells. But I would like to hear back from you in 3 months to see if you've had some progress in finding some suitable alternatives for some of
Absolutely.
these.
Absolutely.
Make it September.
It's September, by September.
I think if we plan on September, we can get Wayne involved, and he could answer every single question in terms of supply chain issues.
Just keep in mind, you've been out here the whole evening, I appreciate your waiting. The regulation went into effect on January 1st, that's all. And we're trying to do our job, our assignment. So months are going by. It's difficult for us, it's difficult for you as well. But I'm not sure it's happening, so.
I'd like to suggest too that, to help us too as a board and our credibility, that you might think about some signage that says, we are working at finding suitable non-plastic or plastic alternatives for some of our packaging.
Sure.
In compliance with the Yarmouth Board of Health regulation, just to let people know, because my concern is that people in the community are going to start saying, hey, we're not supposed to be seeing plastic anymore, even though we have explained that that wasn't reasonable and that we had to take a more measured approach. Just to show the good faith that's out there, because some of these mom and pops have already done that. People are going to see that. Oh, what's that straw? Oh, well, we have to do that. So for a big organization, you are taking the lead in many ways, and might help you as well as us and show that you're working on it.
Do you think you can shorten that into a motion?
I move that we approve the waiver request for number 1, 2, 3, and 5 container products that Stop and Shop is using at this time, and that they get back to us on the plastic number for the other ones that were in question, and that they come back to us in September with an update on what's been happening, what they've been able to do. And I know the supply chain's a problem, because, they've just not been getting the requests for it in enough volume yet, but people can really help with that.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Mary. Any further discussion on this?
Well, I think it would be easier for all these vendors if it was more of a ubiquitous agreement across all these towns. Right now, we're just hit and miss. One town has got the regulation, one town doesn't. It makes it difficult for these businesses.
Okay.
I think we're sensitive to that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Well, we haven't voted yet,
Oh.
as I keep saying.
Jumping the gun again.
Don't thank us yet. So all in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Keep giving the food to the food bank, okay?
Yeah.
And, all right, we'll see you in September.
Thank you.
Good.
So, board, supply chain issues. We just got a call from one of the stores in town that was 100% compliant. It's the Dunkin' Donuts on Station Avenue. They are 100% compliant.
Excellent.
However,
Right.
their supply has run out.
And they can't.
They're trying to get it, so they're gonna have to come in front of us. So that's one of the issues.
Right.
And they're trying everything, and they were fully compliant, and it's out of their hands. So my next question is, when they run out of the stuff they can't use, this compostable is not good, and I don't want to be giving people false information.
You've been looking at the regulation.
Yeah, I have several.
What does it say about compostable?
It says right here.
You wouldn't mind just reading that?
I want to know about compostable and multiple use.
So these are the items that are allowed. Products made entirely of paper and wood that are not lined or coated. Certified compostable products that are not PLA. Plastic lined, including PLA lined cups made of paper, wood, or natural fiber that are used for hot liquids and their associated lids. Bioplastics that are third-party certified to be home compostable, e.g. PHA. Glass, aluminum foil wrappers, aluminum containers with aluminum or cardboard lids. Those are the ones that are allowed for takeout. And then there's also a section in there in regards to delivery, which since that just came up for the Spice Box, they did say, it does say compostable bags are acceptable. So, because that's a whole nother level of like the takeout stuff, like to your point too.
Home compostable is what the regulation says. So it has to be something you can compost at home, and most
Okay.
of the stuff I'm seeing that comes into my house or to my attention, it will say, it has to go through a commercial composting process. It's not something you
Okay,
just.
so this will not be allowed then?
Is that certified compostable products that are not PLA? Is that PLA? I guess that's what we need to determine.
Says compostable, commercially compostable
Commercially, yeah.
facilities, and then on the bottom,
That would pretty much rule out any plastic for home compost
compostable things.
made of plastic.
plastic,
Right.
no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it
Right,
would be a
yes.
wood or a fiber or a
Yes, yeah.
paper
Likely,
product.
yes, yeah, because they're not gonna say home compostable, because by and large, they're not. You're right, it's commercially, which is why we had said that, because
So the
commercially.
certified compostable products that are not PLA is one item, and then the third-party certified home compostable is a second item on there.
Right.
So I guess we need to determine what those actually are.
Right, in PLA,
Yeah, I think we have some homework to do, I think.
I think the other issue is gonna be these products that we reuse over and over, put them back in the container, put them in the fridge, and we're gonna depend, they're not gonna leak all over the fridge. I mean,
so that's,
or that they're gonna
That's gonna
seal
be-
the product well enough to keep it
right,
so that it doesn't deteriorate.
Or ideally, you have your own containers at home.
yeah, to transfer them
You clean
into.
them in the sink or in dishwasher, but whatever's, the slices are left of that cake, they're in
Just
the,
have to take small steps. We've gone from a drastic change and
for sure.
Yep.
doing small steps.
say a product says dishwasher safe then? Is that,
No,
No,
that's got
no,
nothing
we-
to do with it.
No,
no.
what I-
Well,
what I-
it would make it so that it could be reused
multiple times?
multiple times. There are black plastic containers that have the dishwasher safe stamp on them.
Then you can reuse them.
There are glass containers that you can use at home forever.
Right.
You could recycle it if you break it, you know.
Oh, absolutely, but in terms of being a product that's in compliance.
Right.
At a restaurant,
At a restaurant for takeout.
Yeah, take out, I mean, it's totally.
I just think people are not going to keep reusing plastic containers. Although, sometimes I do use them.
I don't want it's opposable. I need a definite answer where I can tell people from the board.
All right, on compostable, no, unless it's home compostable, it doesn't count.
What is certified, I guess we need to look at certified compostable, what that is.
And PLA it mentions too, which unfortunately, I don't understand what those are.
So I think we need to probably take this offline.
Yep.
All right, I think we need to change something, all right? If we're trying to figure this out, I mean, that's not fair to the store owners, okay? And I'm trying to figure it out, and it's not easy. And it's 7 o'clock, and we spend a lot of time on it, which is fine, but we still are struggling trying to figure this out.
Yep.
And just think about the people trying to run a business. So
I feel-
what can we do to change this and improve it, of what we're doing?
I feel 99% of everybody's working toward it. I just
Right.
want to make sure there's not a couple small products that are slipping through the cracks. So, and we haven't had anybody that's said absolutely no. Right? Everybody's being compliant. So I just want to make sure that aren't a few items that are slipping through the cracks on this. So,
Yeah,
Well,
I-
Would it be a good idea to have the committee meet one more time to go over this?
I don't know, we'll have to talk about
Okay.
that.
All right.
We'll have to, Barry and I will get together and we can
Okay.
talk
Yeah.
about that.
right.
Yeah, so the technical things are clear, that's all.
Right,
That's all I'm really
but yes,
saying.
we do need to make it clearer, yeah.
And ultimately, it'll be in your office, and very few of these should be coming to the Board of Health. You know, it was my decision to have people come in front of the board until we figured it out.
Yeah, which is good now. It's
Yep.
coming out. So, all right.
I think a lot has been learned.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Oh,
like you
absolutely.
said, a lot of people are complying, and it's great.
Right.
Yes,
And, yeah, they're learning too.
Yeah,
so-
exactly, yeah.
for sure.
And teaching us.
Okay. you want to move on, anyone? To number 7 here is noise, pollution discussion. I had asked to put this on the agenda. In the last meeting, Dr. Contis had come in front of us and made some good points, interesting ones, and brought that to our attention. And so I thought we ought to address it or have some discussion of what that means, what it's all about. And so, Mary, you sent me something that was really interesting. Do you want me to speak or you speak? I'm fine. You did your homework, which is great.
You can go ahead. Yeah.
I'll second that. No, anyway, so back, it was 2005, is that what it was? Yeah, so, town meeting, and there was an article that passed, basically, and it's noise, basically, regulation of certain devices and persons, basically about people or businesses making too much noise, and what has to happen. Some regulations, for instance, and making noise between 11 p.m. 7 a.m. There's talk about noise from dwellings, buildings, boats. A lot of it has to do with things that are just too loud. This had nothing to do with light pollution. This was only for sound. So this was brought to the town's attention and actually voted for. And it goes on about noise from motor vehicles, penalties. So there's a lot here. And I just thought we ought to talk about it. It was very helpful you found this, Mayor. I appreciate it. So the town has looked at it 20 years ago and want to do something about it. The question is anything being accomplished? This involves a lot of sectors of society here in town. It's complicated, very complicated. My takeaway is a little bit, if things are too loud, you generally call the police department. Well, first, maybe you go to your neighbor, if that's where it is. Very often, the truck is going by with the exhaust pipe that's, not working, and you would start with your neighbor or the business next door. If that's not going to go anywhere, or someone is afraid to do that, then it's the police department would be contacted, I guess. That's what it seems to be here in this article that was passed. So I'm just putting out for discussion a little bit. I think, Dr. Contis had made an effort, and put some links to some reputable journals, and I don't want that just to fall apart. The question is what can be done. That's something else. This is a town-wide issue. There are a lot of businesses that make a lot of noise. There are a lot of kinds of machines that do. Not everyone has, nice quiet lawnmowers or leaf blowers. Our society is not there yet. So questions for our town. So I'll stop talking. If people have some thoughts on this, where this is in our town.
Well, it was brought up, motorcycles as being one issue. And I can tell you, I bet you half of the police force that owns motorcycles have motorcycles that wouldn't comply with that noise pollution. So I don't know what you do about that. I don't see how they're gonna enforce that a noise pollution mandate if their bikes fall into that category. I mean, there's no need of it, I agree, but I don't know how you'd ever enforce something like that. Like I said, I know many policemen that I ride with that their bikes are too loud. There's no need of it, but it is what it is. I don't know how you get to enforce that law. And the other thing, any time of day, all day long, these leaf blowers, just totally intrusive, constantly. Now they have electric ones that aren't nearly as bad, electric lawnmowers, but people are so slow to switch. So I don't know. I think it's a tall task to take on something like this. I don't know how I think it would be very arbitrarily enforced if you did.
It would be, it has to be a town-wide effort, you know, it's not gonna be a board like ours that meets for 3 hours twice a month to make this. Obviously, it's gonna take a lot of input from a lot of departments, here. Dr. Contis, it's you, I assume, right? As a courtesy to you, why don't you come up if you have anything you want to say, okay? This is generally not the format, but I appreciate your effort. So please keep it short, but if there's some other things you would like to tell the board, or in fact the town who are, you know, listening now.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to hear me out. Let me just reiterate that the issue of noise pollution has assumed rather large proportions when the American Public Health Association is now likening it to secondhand smoke. And I gather you're all very much familiar with that public health issue. So this is something along the same dimensions. As you just mentioned, Dr. Boski, this is an issue that cuts across several dimensions of society, and trying to get a grip on it is going to be a sizable task. That's one reason why I submitted the letter in references to this board, to provide you with the scientific basis for why noise pollution is an issue, and also to see if it's within the purview of boards of health to come to grips with it, and then also to serve as a resource for those other departments throughout the community that have a piece of the action with regard to noise. For example, licensure for outdoor events that would feature loud music. Just so happened today I was in on a webinar online that was giving some recent developments, research on noise pollution. Came across a very interesting one that said that a lot of music that people listen to these days, or at least a certain segment of the population that they listen to, emphasizes a heavy bass line of low frequency, which has been found to be particularly annoying. And not only that, it tends to travel very far, up to 4 miles. Well, here in town, for outdoor entertainment, there is a noise criterion, but it only extends for abutters within 300 feet. Well, what about the abutters who are 4 miles out who are being affected by this? It's the inadequacy of the policy and the enforcement to deal with it. And this is one of the issues that I'm raising, and I'm suggesting that if the Board of Health becomes current and fluent in the science and what other agencies are doing, maybe we can get a better grasp on this problem. Just a further thing that I found out today, apparently Massachusetts is kind of like taking a lead in dealing with noise pollution because it has established an Office of Noise Abatement and Control, which means that at the state level, they're starting to think seriously about this, so that they in turn may provide guidance, influence, maybe even place demands on communities to come up with measures to deal with the abatement and control of noise. So that's my quick spiel right there.
I mean, it'd be nice if Beacon Hill actually did this. That's not the way it usually happens. It's usually individual towns. But if the state did, then Yarmouth has to follow it, which would be the best thing that could happen.
Excuse me, if I could just ask one thing.
Of course.
Just to further this along, I was just thinking, if I could work with Mr. Lewis and Ms. Wall on what I'm finding, and kind of like enter into a conversation with them, maybe we could advance it that way, rather informally. That they can, I can show them what I've found out online, the scientific basis that I've come across, the enforcement measures that I've come across, the examples of other communities, how they're coming to grips with this, and they can serve as a conduit then to inform you as well.
That sounds great. Place to start.
Definitely.
It's a difficult issue, which I see that you're nodding at, and it's an important one. It's annoying at 11 o'clock at night when someone's blowing their leaves around because they just got home from work. So it's complicated. It's very complicated.
Well, again, it's annoying, but we're finding out that the annoyance actually has physiologic implications, okay? And they're rather serious.
So, may I ask, what would the ultimate goal of that you're looking for be?
Awareness for the community about the issue. B, I think serving as a solid basis for the development of policy, such as coming up with a ban on gas-powered leaf blowers and lawnmowers, okay? And then also, with regard to Section 104-3 of the town bylaw, it is not being enforced because it's very difficult for the police to enforce it, in part because the judges tend to dismiss town bylaws in this matter, and it becomes essentially a waste of time for the police to try to enforce it if it's only going to be shot down by the courts. So this then provides an opportunity, and I think a good reason, to provide kind of like friend of the court arguments to the courts saying, don't dismiss these issues out of hand over here because they have direct implications for public health. So therefore you have an awakened judiciary, which will then make it easier for the police to do their job.
I think, like this, I recall last fall, I think, when all these felons were being released because they didn't have representation. So here we are, we've got felons that commit capital crimes, and they're being released. I don't see how we're ever going to enforce these kind of bylaws when these felons are let go, convicted felons, or, well, they never had a trial, but they're obviously, a lot of them were guilty. They never went to trial because they didn't have representation. And I mean, the court system's pretty overwhelmed with pretty serious crimes at this point. So I don't know how this would fall in, what kind of priority this would get with our judicial system.
I just don't know.
Yeah, I was just recently, as an example, I was getting my motorcycle inspected the other day, sitting there. I would say maybe one or two of the bikes that were there were probably 10 of them being inspected. I would say 2 of them would pass noise pollution, and every one of them got a sticker. So I don't know, maybe that's a place to start. These are being inspected for, every year we have to get an inspection sticker. Every one of them was passed, including the person, probably the loudest bike there was probably owned by the person who's doing the inspections.
It makes you wonder
We've got a
about.
long way to go if we're going to start to enforce those kind of.
It makes you wonder about the state inspection program, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, but it's just an example.
Yeah.
So
It's an example,
I
but
think we have to be realistic about how we're going to approach this.
right. Well, this
In
is
light of the environment right now.
this is in part my argument. Something has to be done, but what should we be done? And I'm just basically saying, at least for a start, let's get familiar with the science and the public health dimensions.
No, I agree.
Place to start is probably picking out something very specific.
Yeah.
One item, one issue that in 10 years you cannot use a gas-powered lawnmower. So all the landscape companies and the people who own their mowers, in 10 years they're going to have an electric one. Something, but start with something very finite.
Increasingly, communities are banning these leaf blowers. I think Arlington does it. I think Lexington is doing it. I think the Globe had an article about it last month or something like that. So other communities are coming to grips with it, exactly along those lines, saying that within 3 years, you have to transition, okay? So this is something to be considered here. And again, you could back up the Board of Selectmen if they develop the policy, okay? And they say, you know, they'd want to know why should we do this? And you can tell them this reason, that reason, that reason. It's all here. It's laid out. I've got it for you. And voila, there you go.
Okay. Any comments, anything, anyone? Thanks for sitting through all the restaurants. I wish.
Well, as I was listening to that, I was kind of like saying to myself, this is an example of what they say in health policy issues, that health policy is 10% inspiration and 90% implementation. And you folks are wrestling with it, and I have to ask, do they pay you enough?
It's stock options.
Not yet.
That's what it's
I
all
got you.
about. Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
Anyway, with Mr. Lewis, I'd like to contact you, see if we can, work out a
You have my
schedule,
information.
work something up and take it from there. Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I think since 2005, something can be done.
Yeah. The town wants it. If they voted for it. Okay, review and approval of minutes, that's from May 4th. Anyone have any edits on this? Not seeing any.
I read through them, they look fine.
Okay, when that's stated, then we'll accept the minutes as written, that's fine. Announcements. I'll make the first one, just about the log that's in the packet. This was the Town of Yarmouth Plastic Regulation Decisions. Thank you, this is what I was looking for. I mean, a lot more sophisticated than what I wrote, and it's great to keep track of. And maybe send an updated one tonight and send it to the select board. Let them see how we're doing. Find out if they get any comments or what they think, should be changed or nothing. Okay, I appreciate it if you sent it.
How many more do we have lined up to come to us?
We just have one Subway, they have to follow up on June 1st, and now Dunkin' Donuts, because they are not, but that's all that we have that are coming to the board.
And Sea Dog, maybe.
Sea Dog, maybe.
Right.
We haven't heard from Lighthouse Keepers?
No, there's been several that we still need, I have an ongoing list of other businesses that we need to continue to.
Okay.
I know Phil's going out and doing inspections and things like that,
Right.
so when he's doing that, he's reminding them.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, there's still a few that
Yep.
have not sent anything.
Because Friday Club, when they came in, I thought, well, we're really reaching everybody if we get to the Friday Club.
That's why we're doing this. When they came in, yeah, it made my day. I like it. Okay, bicycle safety event. Okay, Sarah, you put this on right here on our desks, right?
Just letting you know that we're continuing to move forward with our monthly awareness. May, we're still collecting items for the Cape Cod Foster, and then we have on May 28th, we have Cape Cod Foster and a woman from DCF coming in to do a short presentation on how people can either help support the foster system on Cape Cod, or how to become a foster parent, if that's something they're looking at doing. And then for June, we're doing the bicycle safety. We're working with the Yarmouth YPD Police Department. They're going to, we're going to set up a small little course in the back. They have helmets. We have helmets as well. Vests, reflectors, and just kind of go over, do a short talk on that, provide helmets to people that come. And then in July, we're doing a tick presentation with the gentleman from the Barnstable County. So we have the next few months set up. So that all will be on social media, posted on our website. We've been sending stuff to schools. This was sent to the schools. So they will share that on their newsletters and send it to the parents and post it on site. So hopefully we'll get some good turnout.
Yeah, summer is a big problem, certainly for the people on the bicycles who are here just to work for the summer and tables. There may not be a lot of money involved. unfortunately for them, and until they start getting a paycheck, they need to get to work and home. And often you see people on 28 or 6A on a bicycle without lights on it and without a helmet, so good timing.
Yeah, and Officer Brewer is going to be the officer that I'm working with. He's the resource officer at the high school. So he actually did say he wants, we initially were kind of on the fence with e-bikes, having people bring their e-bikes, but that is the big, one of the bigger problems. So they will be allowing those to come, and I think it'll be great education for people and just to learn the rules of the road.
Yeah, the e-bikes have been a problem, certainly on the Cape Trail. There was actually a piece that came out from one of the doctors at the hospital just about this. And some of the bikes are essentially close to the kind of motorcycle that you have. Not quite as good, but yeah, so those e-bikes really fly, so it's been a problem on the trail. You put in a lot of these things, I'm sure, Barry, in the packet. Do you want to, are there some specific ones, or?
Yeah, well, the hantavirus, and that was a big issue with the cruise ship. Just if you see, it comes from rat feces and, I don't want to say rat, from rodent feces and urine. If you see it, they tend to and follow along the walls of buildings inside. So if you see rodent droppings inside your house, don't just sweep them up. What the proper thing to do, we have it here, it's going to be on our website, a bleach water mixture, get them saturated, use rubber gloves, and wipe it up with a paper towel. Don't suck it up with a shop vac or anything like that, because that just spreads the particles throughout the air. So don't just sweep them up from that. If you have questions, you can call us. You can call the best ways to prevent it. What's this one? Hatteras, www.cdc.gov/Hatteras-virus/index. So for more information on the Hatteras virus and how to clean up and stuff like that. So
just on that, this was in the packet, was in the Massachusetts Public Health fact sheet. I think there's an error in it because it is transmissible person to person. It's one specific species I read about that actually is in South America. Well, it did spread now on the ship. So this is not very common, and I don't think people in general are at risk for this, or high risk for sure.
There's been a slight lift on the conservation, the mandatory conservation measure for the lawn watering. It was put out by the water department. Lawn watering is restricted to 1 day per week between 9 a.m. or before 9 a.m. or after 5 p.m. So basically 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. Residents can water on the following days: Yarmouthport, Mondays only; South Yarmouth, Tuesdays only; West Yarmouth, Wednesdays only. All other non-essential water use restricted to 1 day per week. It's the same times. Watering of ornamental and flower gardens with drip irrigation, handheld hoses, or watering cans is allowed at any time.
I have a question about this, because I read it. The all other non-essential water uses are restricted to 1 day per week, and you said the same days as above? I mean, and all other non-essential, that'd be like washing your car, or...
I
is
copied that straight from the water department, so
They're not good about communicating clearly.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't have the boards out there. They're not being used right now.
Yeah,
You don't
they're
see them around.
Yeah.
There's a drought and there are restrictions. I don't know why they're not out.
Because, yeah, the last we heard was what came out with the water bill, and that's
Right.
was not up to date, you know.
So
with
this
what
just
you've
came
got
out, so.
Giving us now, so.
And that's if you saw it, when you got your bill. Yeah, so that's, why don't you give them a call? See what's up about, enforcing this. That's all.
Well, so I reached out to the water director, and I said, if and when people call and complain about their neighbors watering outside of these dates, who do they reach out to? They are to reach out to the water department, so.
Right,
Okay.
right. But that came up at town meeting a few years ago. The whole very lengthy policy on watering and fines and, you know, the whole thing, and it was voted down. But it's come up before, the whole enforcement issue. That the DPW and the water department tried to address, but they didn't address it were not able to address it formally through town meeting anyway.
I think the biggest offender of this water ban are the commercial establishments. They just leave their sprinklers on, right? I mean, they're on all the time. I know all last summer they were.
Yep.
All these commercial, you know, companies, electric companies, or, you know, any type of company that uses a sprinkler system that's on a schedule. They just leave them on, and it doesn't seem to be any regulation when it comes to controlling that.
And frankly, you know, the DPW and the water department do not have the staff to enforce.
Right.
You know, because they'd even talked about going around and putting a hanger on the doorknob for when the sprinkler's on and it's not supposed to be, but they couldn't do that. There's just not enough people to do that. And then what about that? You know?
I just went by on Mary Dunn Road, that church there. They just put in a whole new turf, a
yeah.
lawn. I mean, they're going to have to water that lawn twice a day to get that to survive. So I don't know.
Barnstable, so,
Well, they have a water ban, and Barnstable as well.
do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Cape is in a severe
Yeah.
drought, so, yes, but
So Eric, what type of grass seed should people be using if they need some grass?
meadows.
Fine fescues
Okay.
are good. Actually, was this from Barry?
That's from Hillard.
This is from Doug. You're just checking to see if I read,
You
right?
read. I'll second that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's maybe time for people to start reimagining what the healthy lawn looks like.
Amen.
I thought this was a really good, clear, concise sheet from UMass, so thank you for providing. I think most people don't know that, you know, about according to UMass, cut your lawn to 3 inches and it uses about 1 inch of water a week, which is still a pretty substantial amount of water. I think the issue here with our beautiful native Cape Cod soil is it doesn't have the capacity to hold on to that 1 inch per week. So, but, you know, a healthy lawn starts with healthy soil, and the herbicide and insecticide is not the way to get a healthy soil either, so. I'd like that it had a little blurb about testing your soil. You can get your soil tested from UMass, possibly the county extension too. I'm not positive, but if your soil doesn't have the right pH or level of acidity, it makes certain nutrients unavailable to the plant. So putting down more fertilizer is doing nothing but wasting your money. So get your soil tested.
With all of the lawn care companies out there.
There is information on the town's website under the water department that's been updated that has some helpful information on it, on who's not restricted and
More detailed?
more detail.
Okay, thanks.
Good.
What else you have?
Not too familiar with, Sarah, will you talk about the Lions Club one, if you don't mind?
Okay, one of our biggest fans, there's a woman who came in and she just wanted to bring the board's awareness to this foundation. You know, maybe we could reach out to them next year or provide grant funding. I'm not really sure, but she had some surgery and used them to get a ride to to her appointment and things like that. So it's just more of an awareness that these foundations are out there to help local residents with services that may or may not be aware of. So Barnstable Yarmouth Lions Club Foundation was what she used. She was very pleased with them, and I think it's just getting all the resources out there is important for people to know that there's.
She did use a couple of the services that were provided through our grants that we gave last year.
Yes,
So
yes.
they are going to a good use to our local people that need them. So
Yeah, the person was very appreciative. She contacted me a couple times, how she benefited from it. Ooh, anything else there?
one last thing, we are doing the health fair May 30th at the intermediate school. It's a Saturday from 10 to 1. It's a combination of Yarmouth, Dennis, and the county. We put it together. I think we have almost 50 vendors that will be there. So lots of fun activities also for the kids. Touch a truck. I think the golf course is going to be there with a simulator. So it's going to be a good family fun afternoon. So
And what's the hours for that?
10 to 1.
I was at the WISAC meeting for May. That was on the 13th. There was a presentation by First Steps Together. It's an organization I hadn't heard about. They have a couple of locations in the state, and actually one of them is here on the Cape, in fact. I think it's in South Yarmouth. Now, they basically, I can read a couple of things of kind of what First Steps Together is. Here it is. Is creating more space for connection. Each week, we're offering multiple online opportunities for patients and caregivers to gather for support, recovery, healing, and community. A lot has to do with people in recovery. When people feel seen, supported, and connected, real change becomes possible. So if you're looking for care, community, or simply a hard place to land, you're always welcome. And to contact them, you do it through Cape Cod Children's Place. And the phone number is 508-240-3310. That's 508-240-3310. There are a couple of sheets out there when I came in. There's a women's support group that meets. It's Mondays at 2 and Wednesdays at 2. As they're saying here, a welcoming space for women in our community to connect, reflect, and support one another through life's challenges and transitions. Here's another from this organization. You are not alone. Loving someone who struggles with substance use can feel isolating. This group offers a compassionate space to share, reflect, and feel supported by others who understand. And they meet Fridays at 9 a.m. Together, we explore boundaries, grief, hope, and healing at your own pace. Interesting organization, really committed to helping people out, and certainly was oriented to families especially. So once again, it's 508-240-3310 if you're in a place where you could use some help in life. Okay, any other announcements? Anyone? Going, none? Okay, fine. Number 9, next meeting is when?
June 1st.
Right, okay.
June 1st?
No,
June 1st.
June 1st.
yeah, it's 9. Yes, it is.
2 weeks.
True. Okay, just one more item. Somebody?
Move that we adjourn.
Second.
Yeah.
Third it.